guys, as always, thanks for stopping by. I'm a little nervous. Let's talk about that. Hey, today's episode is brought to you by all of you Patriots. Every thumbs up is fantastic. Shazam! I do appreciate how y'all have been crushing that thumbs up, so thanks for that. Also, y'all have been also crushing these as well. It's the boating accident. Lost my guns in a boating accident. It's a corny joke, but it's kind of true these days. Hot off the press, I lost my guns in a boating accident. Patches, the morale patches are in. Arsenal, Charters, Inc. What is the text? Insured against all accidental loss. So those are available, link down below. I wasn't planning on doing a video. It's already getting late in the day. It's nearly 5 o'clock while I'm filming this. I'll have it up somewhere between 6 and 7 probably. Wasn't planning on doing one. If you can't tell, I am tired. It's probably why I look tired. And I'm a little bit worried over the last several hours, really several days. I took a few really quick notes over the last little bit. But I want to talk to you just a little bit about our voices. I'm not an alarmist. I don't go wild in one direction or the other. Sometimes that's to my detriment. I have viewers regularly get upset at me because I won't go hard into one direction. I'm into freedom and the Constitution. I'm unequivocally, unashamed, and unapologetic about our freedom and the Constitution and standing up for what this republic was founded on and what we believe in. But other than that, yeah, I'm kind of sometimes in the middle, sometimes on the fence. And people get upset about that. I didn't go super hard during the election because of reasons, but I think on this one, I'm at the point now where, again, I'm not an alarmist, but I'm at the point now we need to stop and have a conversation about what I want to talk to y'all about right now, that we're being silenced. And I'm not saying that to be dramatic. I'm not the first one to say that. Although I do want to temper that with the idea that I think most YouTubers, especially in this arena, the freedom and the gun tube world, I think most folks that are like, we're being silenced, all they want is Patreon dollars. Not everybody, but there's a few. And they're just trying to, through fear, generate cash. I've told y'all before, even this and all this that's behind me, I make zero from that. That is the honest truth. It's not fear, and I have nothing to gain from this besides, I think maybe with YouTube, I have a voice. I'm able to talk to y'all. I meet a lot of fun folks and cool people. I'm going on a trip this coming Thursday. That should be fun. So there's some cool things with it, but it's not a fear-based gain, and I think that's important for y'all to know. People ask me sometimes, Johnny, what's the most important of the founding 10, almost said 10 commandments, the first 10 amendments? And I think most guys would say, well, the second is the most important. Yeah, and it is. It's critical. Even what I have sitting down right here, super important. But it's also, I believe, tied in and dovetailed in with the First Amendment. You can't separate number one with number two. It's why they're number one and number two. They're tied in together. One protects, or two protects number one. The ability and the freedom to criticize our government is a founding belief and one of the main staples of what we believe in as a republic. The freedom of not just information, not just to be able to talk about what we want to talk about, the freedom of the press, but also the freedom and the ability to criticize those that be in power. Over the last 6 months, we've had to monitor and be careful with the words that we use. Even on this channel, I've had people get mad at me because I won't say certain words, and people are like, Johnny, you are complying. You're in fear. No, I'm not in fear at all. It comes down to this. Back in March and April, numbers were crushing, and I was able to get messages out to tens of thousands of people. I could say one word, and it would immediately get demonetized, deplatformed, and that message would go out to 1,700 people. And it came down to some days, do I want to reach 6,700 people or 67,000 people, tens of thousands, or tens? And all I had to do was change the word. And people say, Johnny, that's compromise. No, I think that was a pretty good strategy. I also want to say very clearly, I think most YouTubers, when they whine and they talk about demonetization, they often don't do a good job explaining to y'all what that really means. It's not just about losing that $38 or $112 that a big video might make. No, it's about getting completely pulled out of the algorithm. Again, do you want to reach tens of thousands or reach tens? Now, it's still important to have the message and not to compromise the message, but there's a little bit of strategy there. Now, I said all that to say this. I believe that we're in a process, and this is not revelatory, but I do want to say this is what I'm thinking about today. We're in a process of being silenced. Now, we can still say what we want. I'm saying what I want right here. But in many of the mediums that are out there today, the stages, the arenas, the places where we have these conversations, you can't talk about certain things if you don't have a hard left slant. Even over the last, really 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, people have realized that Fox News is now CNN with a blue, just now it's slightly red, but mostly blue. The point is this, even that one medium of Fox News, and I haven't turned on Fox News in 10 years, so don't chase me on that one. I haven't turned it on in literally 10 years. But I have read enough to know that even they have been silenced or they have gotten swallowed by the MSM. It's kind of scary. Right now, there's a mass exodus moving away from Instagram. I moved over to Parler last night. I'm still on Instagram. Same name for both, at Johnny Appalachia. I don't care which one you find me on. But there is a mass exodus towards freedom and not being silenced. What's going on Instagram right now is vast. That's a whole other video. But if there's certain hashtags you can't use, or else you're deplatformed. My buddy Mike, Mr. Guns and Gear, he was deplatformed completely off of there. He's now on his backup channel over the last 2 weeks. And it's bad. The whole thing is bad. Here's an example. We've not been able to even get together and fellowship. Churches have been shut down in a lot of places. A lot of things have changed in the last 6 months. Y'all know that. My grandmother passed in March. We had nothing for her. We weren't even able to get together at the cemetery and have any sort of, just a get together. We weren't allowed to. They told us we could meet in the parking lot, up to 10 of us. So we did, it was just weird. You couldn't even do anything besides stand in a parking lot. And then now that a child sniffer is being ordained fraudulently, they're now saying that getting together is totally, completely fine. In fact, the New York Times had an article just yesterday that said getting together for concerts may actually slow the spread. There was an article about 6 weeks ago that said back when they were burning things down, and I can't say it or I'll be demonetized on this video. It starts with a B and it ends with an LM. There was an article that said even their protests helped to slow the coof, slowing it through protesting together. Y'all have watched all of that. It's complete and utter nonsense. We're losing our voice in a lot of ways, and I find that completely frightening. It's one of the founding beliefs of who we are. Over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be watching a lot of lawsuits, major lawsuits, headed to the Supreme Court, a lot of things going on. And a couple of the pundits have said this week, and I do believe that it's going to be, the press is really going to be the ones that decide when this is over because they'll simply stop talking about it. And that's also scary. I think once again, I come to this point where I say this matters. Our ability to have a conversation matters. Our ability down in the comment section to have a conversation and talk freely about things we want to talk about matters. So I'm saying I'm watching it. Now, let me ask y'all, have y'all felt like you've been silenced? Have you felt like you've been in some ways deplatformed? Do you still feel like you have a voice and the freedom to say what you want, even wearing what we want? This coming Thanksgiving, you all and I, a lot of folks are going to be walking into houses with people that don't agree with us. Will we be silenced? Are we afraid? Are we in a point where we feel like we have to take a step back and protect soft and tender ears from hearing a little bit of truth? It's a challenging time to be in. The point of this video is to say, yeah, I'm a little bit nervous. To anyone that's against us or our abilities or freedoms to say what we want, when we want, how we want, yeah, more than ever from my cold, dead hands. Bye.